Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Hopefully you guys are doing well, having a great night, having a great afternoon. I don't know about you, but it's starting to get a little warm and I just wasn't prepared. But hey, we are here. So what we're going to do for tonight, we are going to multiply and divide functions. Okay, so quick little recap of what we did last time. So when we did the adding and subtracting of functions, we basically, let me zoom in, we basically have like two functions. And what we're doing is, if we're doing the adding, we take our g function and then we add it to our f function. So in this case, we had our g function was 2x minus 2, and our f function was x plus 1. So when you take a look and you notice that there's a plus sign, we're basically taking the g function and adding it to the f function. So if you notice, two different colors, two different functions. So we have the g function, which is 2x minus 2, the f function, which was x plus 1, and all we did was combine like terms. So that is 2x plus x, that's where the 3x came from, and negative 2 plus 1, that's where the negative 1 came from. And this is your final result for the g plus f of x is equal to 3x minus 1. Now, when we have subtraction, only thing that I want to kind of change is when we do subtraction, we want to do keep, flip, change, okay? That KFC. I know I feel like I'm always saying it two different ways every time I do this, but here we are. So what do I mean by that? I have my f function. My f function is 4x minus 3, and my g function was 2x minus 4. So we're taking our f function and we are subtracting with the g function. But this is the thing that always happens. When you just try to do straight subtraction, you'll do 4x minus 2x perfectly fine. And that's what will give you your 2x. But then all of a sudden you forget, and then you would say negative 3, oh, minus 4. Okay, that should give me a negative 7, Audrey. That's wrong. No. You are subtracting the 2x as well as this negative 4. So when you subtract the negative, it turns positive. Okay, so that's why I like to do keep, flip that minus to a plus, and then change all the signs of the second function. So that will be a negative 2x, and this will be a positive 4. So when we have 4x plus negative 2x, that will give me 2x. And when we have negative 3 plus 4, that will give me 1. All right. So that is just a general recap of what we were working on last time with adding and subtracting of functions. So now we're about to go and enter into the world of multiplying and dividing. So before I get started, let's see who's here, and let me say my highs. Whoa, C4 is here. He's sharing it to everybody. All right, so yes, everyone that's coming in and joining in, I greatly appreciate you. Thanks, C4. Thank you for the likes. Oh, thank you, Peaches, for the rose. I appreciate that. And everyone, thank you so much for the follows. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Okay, have everyone is doing well. Michael, hello. Oh, all right. So let's get funky and started. All right, so let me zoom in so you can see the guided notes that I have for you. So this thing wants to do something weird, and I'm not going to let it, because I'm not. All right, so when we're multiplying and dividing, this is what's happening. And this is going to be key, because when we do the composite, which is going to be tomorrow, you're going to see something very similar to what I'm showing you right now. But the only difference is, instead of a dot, there's going to be like a small circle. Okay, and there's a meaning behind that. But when you see a dot, that's representing multiplication. So we're saying the f function times the g function. That's what's happening here. And that's being of the x. So all we're basically saying is you get your f function and you're going to multiply it by the g function. So when you got division, very much the same thing. You have your f divided by your g. So whatever your f function is, you're going to divide it by your g function. All right, so that's all we're basically doing. Okay, nothing too crazy. Hopefully nothing too complicated. I'm going to unsnap us for a second because for some reason my holder wants to act like act like my life. Just holding on. Just holding on. All right, so let's start. We have our g of x, and I know my hand is all over the place, is equal to my x plus 3. And then we have our f of x, and that's my x plus 4. Okay, now what we're looking for is we want the g times the f of x. Okay, that's what we're trying to get. Now, the best thing about when it's multiplication, it's pretty interchangeable because you're going to get the same thing if I had the f of x being multiplied by the g of x. It's going to be exactly the same thing. So, this is basically saying, let me slide over just a hair. This is basically saying we want to take our g function and we want to multiply it by our f function. That's all we're saying. So, if I write it out, our g function, which right now is in purple, is my x plus 3. And I'm going to put parentheses because I'm dealing with exponent or expressions. And my f function is x plus 4. So, we could do this one of two ways. We can either do what's called the distributive property, or we can do the box method. Okay? Am I a teacher? Yes, I am. Okay, I used to be in a classroom for like 22 years. Wow, I have put my time in. So now I've decided, I just completed my 5th year of doing online tutoring. So here we are. Hey, Robert. Hey, Danny. How are you? Okay. Thank you for the love and appreciation. So now we'll start with the distributive property. So when you distribute, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, first out, enter last. Okay, we got to do FOIL. Okay, but this is what happens when you guys do FOIL. You remember to distribute the first two, but then you just distribute the last two and you think you're done. No, you did the first and the last. Okay, so it's easier for me to say, we're going to take this x and we're going to distribute to everything inside of that second parenthesis. So that means we have x times x, which gives me x squared. We have x times 4, which gives me a positive 4x. And now we're going to distribute the 3 to everything in that second parenthesis. So we're going to do a positive 3 times x. That gives me a positive 3x. And we do a positive 3 times a positive 4. That gives me a positive 12. All right. I'm okay. So now, if you take a look, right here in the center, there are like terms. Because both of those expressions or terms have a single of x. So that means I can bring down my x squared. I'm going to combine the 4x and the 3x, get 7x. and then I'm going to bring down my 12. So what you just found is basically the product of g function and the f function of x. Okay. Shrink it down a little bit so you guys get it all in there. Okay. So Michael, you were right on top of it. Good job. Okay, thank you. Great topic. All right. So the reason why I'm working on these functions, especially if you're taking the TEAS test, they have the functions in the TEAS test. I'm also helping out another gentleman with his apprenticeship for the electrician's apprenticeship, and they also have functions in that exam as well. So although I know I've been pushing a lot with the ASVAB and with GED because they're in there as well, but also the TEAS, and if anyone's that's doing the electronics, they changed based on what my previous experience with the exam was. They changed and they put a lot of algebra into it. There's a lot more algebra. There's a lot of adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Well, maybe not dividing, but multiplying the polynomials. Factoring is in there. The functions are in there. What we're going to do tomorrow, which is called composite functions, that's in there. So they're really advancing it up, and especially with volume of a cylinder and rectangular prism. That's also in there as well. So if you're thinking that you're going to run away from math, yeah, no, buddy. You're stuck like Chuck. All right. So, but guess what? You got someone here that's willing to help break it down to you and hopefully do it in a fun and innovative way. So let's do another one. Let's work on maybe a little division this time. So if I have the f of x, let's say the f of x is x plus 6, and the h of x, switch this, and the h of x is x minus 9. And what we are looking for is the f of h, f divided by h of x. Okay, so remember what this is basically saying. I'm taking my f function and I'm dividing it by my h function. Okay, so that's all this is saying. So I think like once everybody understands what this part is saying, because I know if I saw this on the test and I didn't know, I'd be like, why? Like, why are there letters? What's going on? Right? What grade math this is? I would say this, especially for this portion, is a little bit of Algebra 1, Algebra 2. Definitely in those capacity, but I know composite figures, it all depends if you're doing general or GD. Yeah, so about like, 9th or 11th, depending. Yeah. So, hey Janice, how are you? All right, so let's take a gander. So if we're looking at f of x, and we say that f of x is our x plus 6, and our h of x is x minus 9. And let me bring in my division. So let me ask you a question, because this always happens. Can I cancel out the x's? Put it in the chat. Can I cancel out the x's? Michael saying no, V-Time saying no, said math tutor saying no, Dion saying no way, Robert, nope, Janice, no, 1 is negative, okay, no way, Jose, 1 is positive, You forgot the 0. How did I forget the 0? Or is it like this? Okay. I'm guessing. Okay, joke. I'm terrible at math. I gotcha. Is that Alfredo? Alfario is saying yes. Okay. Now, here's the thing. X plus 6, that's an expression. So it's almost like thinking about, here's you and your significant other. There is no one that's going to divide you. There's no one that's going to break you up. This is it, right? So the only way that it can cancel each other out is if you're doing multiplication, not addition or subtraction. So if I may, let's see if I got a blank sheet of paper. So if it was like 9x over 7x, just putting that out there. If it's multiplication, because this is basically saying 9 times x, and this is saying 7 times x. When you're doing this, x divided by x, anything divided by itself is 1. So it's actually being replaced by 1s. So 9 times 1, that will give me 9, and 7 times 1 will give me 7. So I know we're so used to saying, oh, they cancel out, but they really don't. Because anything divided by itself is equivalent to 1. 7 divided, because it's like 7 parts of 7 wholes. There you go. 7 divided by 7, that will give you 1. 10 divided by 10, that will give you 1. That gives you 1 whole. So it's 10 out of 10 pieces, which is 1 whole. 7 out of 7 pieces, which is 1 whole. Okay? So since it is addition and subtraction, okay, we cannot touch these x's. I mean, y'all can touch my x, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to have some drama coming with it. So I just want to prepare you because that's what's so hilarious. You know, I love how everybody's exes is probably someone's dream person. Hilarious. But here we are. So basically, this is your answer. So if I did f over h and I multiply it by x, my answer is going to be just that, x plus 6 over x minus 9. It cannot be simplified any further. If it was multiplication, yes, but it's not. All right. I know, we try to keep... You put parentheses around them? Yes. You can do that. You're welcome. I know, it's very... well, it's true, you know, if you think about it. Okay, so the 6 and the 9, you cannot touch. Okay? Okay, she figured that out. Good. Hello, Reed. How are you? All right, so here's my thing. We are no longer... Yes, I know, Kevin, this is summer break. But here's the thing. You need to keep this brain active. And guess what? You can have fun with me for about an hour. And that's it. And you can scroll whenever you want. But you know you can't because I'm addicting. I'm in your soul. I'm in your skin. All right, that was creepy. Like, I even creeped myself out. So we're going to just calm that down. All right, so let's try this. So we're having our g function. Should g of x is equal to, yeah, we can do that, x plus 7. And then we'll have our f of x. I think the hardest part of my lives is just deciding what I want to use as a pen. Like, what color do I want to use next? It's hilarious. All right, so if I want to do my f of x times my g of x, okay, I want my f of x times my g of x. Oh, missing all these things. I know. Yeah, don't use it, you lose it. That can refer to so many things. Yeah, so many. You use long division? Nah, When you do these type of functions, it's basically just plug in and simplify. Yes, Snippety, how are you? Do you teach? Is it only algebra? Majority of it is algebra. That's like my thing, especially Algebra 2. I love Algebra 2. I'm okay with pre-calculus. Trig, I'm getting a lot better at. I have to admit, I was really busy with trig. Statistics, I still don't like it. Robert, I might have another kid for you, so just be prepared. I just got another person today. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just need to just sit down and just try to figure it out. But right here and now, nope. So you are correct. I forgot who said FOIL. Snippety. Yes. So Snippy, we got our x minus 3. And then our g of x is our x plus 7. All right. So I did FOIL last time. Okay. Now this time, I'm going to show it using the box method. And you're probably like, the what? I'm like, the box method. Now, the way that I would use the box method, you'll probably have seen it in biology. It was called like a Punnett square. You probably may have seen it in your Algebra 1 classes if you just finished up. So I have 2 terms in my red parenthesis. I have 2 terms in my blue parenthesis. So that means I need to have a 2 by 2 box. And if you remember anything about matrices, 2 by 2 means 2 rows and 2 columns. You're like, oh, we're bringing that back. I know. And it just always seems like when you think it's just a one thing, like it's never one and done with math. Like it always comes spiraling back. Ooh, kind of went a little crazy with that line, but that's all right. All right. Now, could I just simply freehand it? Yeah, I could have, but I didn't feel like it. All right. So now, I can, and you decide which one do you want to be on the sides. I like to put my first one on the side. This is my x. This is my minus 3. Then I put my other parenthesis up top. This is my x, and this is my positive 7. So, as a reminder, okay, we fill the boxes. I'm going to move this over in a second, I swear. Okay. So, first we got to fill the boxes by multiplying. Okay? So, in order for me to fill this box here, I have to multiply x times x. So, x times x gives me x squared, not 2x. 2x happens when you're doing x plus x. X times x, that's when you're going into the x squareds. Now to fill this box, I multiply 7 and x, and it gives me a positive 7x. To fill this box, I got to multiply my x and my negative 3. All right, okay. Don't get too crazy with them x's, Janice. Trying to get me blocked off of TikTok. Getting all kinds of crazy. Audrey, why'd you get kicked off of TikTok? You said you were doing so well. Well, we just had one nice little live talking about multiplying. Next thing you know, All of a sudden, not you guys, because it's my live. Next thing you know, I'm getting feet talk, elbow talk, toe talk, all those crazy talks coming flipping into my algorithm. All just because she got to get a little crazy with the X's. Oh, Lord, why are we such freaks? Jesus. Anyway, come fix it. All right, so to fill in this box, what's going inside of this box? Here we go. Okay, negative 21. Thank you. I know, you gotta have fun with this. Good. All right, good. My question marks, I love it. Nice, negative 21, negative 21. Yes. All right, so we filled the boxes to multiply. That's beautiful. Now, the second part. Okay, we want to combine. All of a sudden, I have a brain fart. Diagonal. Yeah. So when we combine, we're going to add. Yes. Or we're just going to combine, because sometimes it might be subtraction. You never know. Diagonal. Wow. This is why I don't teach English. Really don't. So anyway, we'll figure that out, and I will correct that. Okay. Well, hey, thank you, Angel. I was nowhere near close. Nowhere near close. Can't wait to see this in Audrey's notes. So you can see, I'm not an AI generated person. I'm actually real. Okay. So you're combining your like terms here on the diagonal. So you have 7x and negative 3x. So if I have $7 and I spent $3, that means I still have $4. Yay. So I'm going to start with my highest degree. Another name for degree is an exponent. Okay. So my highest degree is my x squared. So that's coming down. Then I combined, I got my positive 4x. Then I bring down my negative 21. Okay. This is my answer for the f times g of x. Okay. Okay. Let me slide over a little bit. Let me slide over and shrink a little bit. That might help. Okay. Can I go over the negative 21 part again? Sure. So all I did was to fill this block, I multiplied the positive 7 and the negative 3. So a positive times a negative will give me a negative, and 7 times 3 gives me 21. So how? Oh, okay. All right. I think I might be able to do bits and pieces. I'm thinking about doing bits and pieces for my lives once the course starts. In a couple of days. Why a minus 21? Because a positive times a negative will give me a negative. So it's like one of our rules of integers. So like anytime you're multiplying and the signs are different, regardless if it's positive or negative and positive, your answer is always going to be negative. Anytime if it's exactly the same when you're multiplying or when you're dividing, let me see if I can shrink a little bit so you can see dividing. Even when you're dividing, you always get a positive answer if they're both the same. When they're different, that's when you're going to get negatives. Okay. Do I teach elementary? No. I do not have the patience. I think this is why I don't have kids of my own. I'm just too evil for that. All the time. Yes, all the time, blue girl. All the time. Yeah. I can totally see myself at a long, hard day of work, and then my kid's going to come up with me with some kind of macaroni art, and I'm going to rip the macaroni art and throw it across the room because I'm going to say, why are we wasting pasta? Then the kid has to go to therapy at the rightful age of 7. You know, let me not have kids. Right? Thank you, Angel. I will be that fun person that comes over and just plays with your kid that's where it's weird, but you know what I'm saying. But after that, I'm out. Like, no, they're not. Oh, stay with your Auntie Audrey. No, I am in no relations to you. Don't bring that Auntie Audrey stuff over here. That is not me. No, ma'am. Not me. That was cute. But you're the godmother. Who said? I didn't accept that role. But you're going to be the grandmother. Why? Because I'm married to you? No. That's not me. Another piece of the Audrey puzzle has unfolded for you guys. All right. So this time we're going to change it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't freak out on me yet. So we have the F over H of 3. What? Aw, that was cute. How are you, Miss Taylor? Thank you so much. Why is a negative times a negative positive? I know you would think 2 negatives, because if you think of relationships, like 2 negative people, what's positive that's coming out of it? And it's usually a kid. It'll be like the sweetest kid, but then you have 2 of the parents, you're like, y'all shouldn't be together, right? But if you think of it that way, 2 negatives, 1 positive, will give you a positive kid. Do you know how to do 2-column proofs? To a point. Because sometimes proofing, when it comes to geometry, it can go one of many different ways. But then you have some teachers that are like, I want it done this way. And it's so funny. It's going to be asking for help next year. I'll need help now. Not a problem, Troy. Way to step up. I appreciate that. Okay. Turn this down there. Yes. Okay. All right. So now we're doing division. So let's not freak out. It's okay. Breathe. You do not have to put your head between your knees. It's all right. Because it's just, if you want to, you can simply say, I have my f function of 3 divided by my h function of 3. So what you could do, you know what the f function is, which is x plus 3. Notice the x is in the same spot as the 3. So that means we can substitute that 3 in for the x. So if we look at it, we're going to have 3 plus 3 in the numerator. If I take this 3 and I substitute it for the x, we're going to have 2 times 3 minus 4? I was like, ooh, some of the comments are being filtered. I don't know what's going on. Hello, David. I'm so glad you love math. All right. What y'all saying? I was like, what kind of freaking stuff's going on right here? It's not even Friday. It is Saturday, guys. Hello, Mohammed. How are you? Thank you for the follow. So now we have 3 plus 3. That gives us 6. Not to insult your intelligence. 2 times 3, which also gives me 6. But it's 6 minus 4. And 6 minus 4, that gives us 2. Okay, yes I do, Muhammad. We're actually going to be starting the course on Monday. Right? Good job. So this is basically saying after I simplify it, that means the f divided by h of 3 is going to equal 3. Because 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. All right, good. Hey. How can you contact me? You can actually, there is my website. If you go to my profile, you see my website, click on that, and then just go to the contact me. Yep, and you can contact me there. All right, so what you just found, ladies and gentlemen, is an ordered pair. 3, 3. The x value was a 3, and the y value, which is your result, was a 3. Okay? Okay, your friend needs that? Not a problem. Let's go. Cause never knew. All right. Questions on these. Okay, questions on these. All right. So before I get to the next part, let me kind of give you a quick scroll through. Let me see if I can find my stuff first. All right, so, because sometimes people just need a little preview. All right, so here I come to my profile. Okay, have my little live event, yay. All right, so above it gives you my website. If you can click on that, let me make this a little bit bigger. All right, so much stuff. Then when it says open anyway, you can do that. And then it takes you right to my website, okay? So when you go to the website, you can either scroll down or there is a navigation on the extreme right. You can click on that. But if you want to take a look, you can take a look because there's a nice little welcome video of me and you know, some of the things that I want parents to feel. And these are the topics basically that these are my jams. But then, okay, for those, I still have time and I still have openings. I don't want it to get too big, but at the same time, I don't want it to get too small. So if I want the GED, ASVAB, the TEAS test, if you need some assistance, we're going to be starting on Monday. All right, so if anything, we can click on Learn More. And then that will give you like a little preview of some things. And if you're wondering how I created this, I created it on Canva. There's no secret. Okay, all of this is on Canva. And especially if you have Canva Pro, you can do as many as websites as you want to your heart's content. So this is what you will get for the course. So there is going to be Zoom sessions. Okay, we have Monday, Wednesdays is at 4:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We meet twice a week for 12 weeks. Okay, you get the replays because, hey, I know it's the summer. You probably already arranged for your scheduling for your summer vacay, and everyone deserves a break. There will be homework, so that's why I said there's going to be weekly practice, and I will be walking you through some test-taking strategies, just like I do with the lives. And then there's going to be real-time Q&A. So the first time we're going to have Q&A towards the end, but from the second meeting on, we're going to have Q&A starting off. So anything that you worked on the homeworks, we'll get like a half an hour, we'll walk through some things, and then we'll continue on with the lessons. Then you also will get copies of my Audrey's notes, the notes I'm actually going to be taking during the lives. And then I really don't want you to pressure. There's no pressure. There's no judgment. We're just here to break down contents so you can be able to do and take the test at the end of this. That's what I really want. So I'm shooting for the end of August for this to be done. And then I want you to go and retake the test. If you've already taken it, I want you to retake it. If you haven't taken it, I want you to register to take it as soon as the sessions are over. Now, here's another thing, because I know things are going to happen, especially ASVAB. 1 minute you think you're taking it at a certain time, and then the next minute they change the date. Trust and believe, I got you. So say that you're not taking the test until like late September. Well, then you know what? I don't mind. If I have the time, I will work with you. Just keep refreshing your mind to keep you up and on top of it, because I really do want you to do well on that test, okay? So as I said, this is for GED, ASVAB, T's, and even though people that are going into algebra, maybe your 8th grader that's going into 9th grade algebra next year. And then this is the price. Like seriously, $147. For 24 sessions. That's the equivalent of $6.13 a session. Who else is doing that? Okay? Right? So, and the only thing that's different between here and here is I give like 2 free tutoring sessions in this. But if anything after the 2, it'll be an additional cost. Okay? So like seriously. All right, and then I have like a couple of people. This is where if you just click on Access 147 or if you click on Bundles, you can just go ahead and register for it. And yep, we still got spots. Now, if you know somebody that wants to donate, because I do have like a list of people still. If you know of anyone that wants to donate and sponsor someone to take it, hey, please let me know and I will make the arrangements, and it could be completely anonymous. I've already had 4 people that sponsored and all 4 of those slots are filled. But if you know of anyone else that's like willing to sponsor, I don't know. I don't have a sugar daddy anymore, so no, I'm just kidding. I never had one. Let's just relax, okay? But if you know someone that's really into education that wouldn't mind sponsoring one, just have them send them my way, and then we can break things down from here. Another thing, since I'm here, my Audrey's notes are out and available. You can get on Amazon or you can go into my website as well. So Audrey's notes is basically, let me slide over here, like all the notes that I'm writing down in my lovely Ultimate Math Notebook. I have them all listed inside of a book. So if you notice, some of these have QR codes, okay? If you scan that QR code, it will take you directly to the live that is associated with these notes. So you can actually use this for enrichment. You can use it for in mediation. Maybe just give some kids like some time to say, oh, okay, you want some extra practice? Here's some guided stuff. They can do that. I have all 3 books, which these will be soon venturing out. So here's book 2. And that's all it is. And it's a variation of stuff, just like my lives. Like 1 minute we're doing functions, next minute we're doing equations of line, we're doing quadratics, we're doing factoring, we're looking at the special triangles, we're doing a little bit distance formula with Pythagorean's theorem, we're doing a little bit of logs. So all of that. So every book is different. Okay, we got some long division, We did a little bit more rational functions. And if you're not sure which book to take, you can actually go to my YouTube and take a look at my lives and just basically say, hey, Audrey, I'm really interested in the lives the month of, April. And I'll be like, oh, okay, you need book 2. So, just let me know with all that. Okay? Yep, so that's basically that. And then if you like my notebooks, if you just want to get your own notebook, you can. Okay? Get your own, and this is what I have in the very back. So it's not just notes. It's not just Cornell-inspired notes with the grid on one side and the dot on the other side. It also have references in the back. Right here is those factor sheets, okay? If your son, daughter, auntie, self, whoever are not very good at mathematics, you need this factor sheet. This will take you from 1 all the way to 200, okay? Most factor sheets stop at 100. I go all the way up to 200. And then you have your words for word problems, like the most popular words for whatever operation there are. You got your rules of integers. You got your order pairs, being in US or also internationally. We also, IB, that's like right there. We have our properties of exponents. We have our linear and quadratic. So all those rules that you just cannot recall, I tried to put as many as I can in here. And notice, yes, it is on all in color. Like, color is not cheap, okay? So everything is in color, including the unit circle, especially those people that are going into Algebra 2 or pre-calculus. That unit circle is there, as well as gives you a moment for brain breaks. So I got a couple puzzles in the very back to help you with brain breaks. And all that is wrapped up in one. Now, I write rather large because of my lives, but here's the thing. You can write a little bit smaller. It's like 100 pages. So it can basically carry you through to, like, I want to be truthful, it can carry you through to the semester if you write small enough. Okay? All right, enough of that. But see, this is what I have to show you. And eventually, I might be able to put it on TikTok Shop so you can get it through convenience. Now I'm just trying to find you guys. There you are. All right, so let me answer your questions before I get to the next bits. There are 4 subjects to finish the GED. Yes. So you have your GED. You have history, English, science, and math. Okay. Just scroll. Yep. Shop up. Oh, hey, Antonia. All right. Yes. So here we go. Flipping it over. I was like, this is what I have to do so I can come to you guys live and direct and for free. All right. So let's try this one. So we have the g of x. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Okay, the g of x is equal to x minus 8. And then we have the h of x, which is 4x minus 2. And I want you guys to find the g of h of 3. Okay. Tell me what my answer is. Tell me what my answer is. Okay, so right now, hopefully everyone's all right. because there's a lot of stuff that's been blocked that I cannot see, so I don't know. Oh, probably what he said there. Oh, okay. Okay, we're all good? Okay. All right. I did see your answer, Michael, with the 5. I just saw the we are good first. I wanted to make sure. All right, so Michael's saying 5. Hello, Pog. Pog is saying -50. So Embryo saying -50. Okay, so it's a battle between 5 and -50. Huge difference. Okay, you agree with Pog? Okay. So, all right, so we got 3 -50s. You think you did it right? Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. So Reed's saying -50. All right. So Janice, I got you. We're going to walk through it in a moment, because I definitely have some more examples. So we're not going anywhere. All right, so let's take a look. So we have G times H of 3. So basically, this is saying we're taking the G of 3 and we're going to multiply it by the H of 3. So the G function has x minus 8. But instead of the x, we're going to put the 3 in for the x's. So that means here we have 3 minus 8. Okay? And that's going to be multiplied by the h function when we substitute 3 in for the x. So we have 4 times 3 minus 2. Okay, so all we did was substitute the 3's in for the x's of our expressions. So now we just want to do a little bit of cleanup. So 3 minus 8, that'll give me a -5. Whereas inside my red parenthesis, we have 4 times 3, which gives me 12. And then 12 minus 2, that gives us 10. Okay. So since we're multiplying these two, that's when we get -5 times 10. That's where the -50 came from. All right. So yeah, you did it right, Holder. All right. Questions so far? Hey, mister. Thank you for the follow. How's everybody else? My teaching style. I like to take it step by step. I've always been that person. Okay. Aw, thanks for the rose. Little ice cream flowers. Fire bolts? Oh, yeah. Lightning bolts? Okay. Right, I know. You're going to use both of these. You're definitely going to use. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, yep, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. I'm so proud. Hey, Janice, can I share your news or would that be too embarrassing? Let me know. Everybody's like, no, I need to know. Because I'm still proud of you. I'm still proud of you. Okay, I'm going to set up the next one. You let me know. You let me know. If you're just like, nah, I don't want to. Okay. Now, you're going to do the same thing, okay? Breathe. We're just taking one little step further, okay? So, break it down. We are basically saying we want the g of negative 3 divided by the f of negative 3. So let's take a look at that g function. So the g function is a squared minus 4. Okay, notice the negative 3 is in the same spot as a. So all we're doing is we're replacing the a with the negative 3. So if I do this, squared minus 4. Okay, so I got my negative 3. Okay. So for the denominator is the f of negative 3. So that means I'm going to the f function, and notice where there was an a, we're going to put a negative 3. Okay. So here's my question. What's negative 3 squared? Because this gets a lot of people. What's negative 3 squared? Put it in the chat. Okay, Michael saying 9. There's Aga saying 9. Lisa, 9. Okay, Rella, 9. Reed, 9. Janice, 9. Good. Okay, it's not negative 6. All right, good. Now careful, blue girl. Because this is saying, let me put it over here. Notice the negative 3, that means the negative and the 3 is being multiplied to itself. A negative times a negative will give us a positive. And then 3 times 3 will give us 9. I know. Okay, so that's why we have 9 minus 4. That's my numerator so far. So my denominator is just simply negative 3 plus 6. Now, let's combine. 9 minus 4 and negative 3 plus 6. So this is telling me that G of F times negative 3 is equal to 5/3. And I know for sure there's going to be people, we're not supposed to have improper fractions. We can have improper fractions. If you want to make that into a mixed number, you can do that. If you want to make it into a decimal, you can do that. Okay? Right? You can do that. But see, this is the thing. Once we're solving, remember, we're doing this to pass a test. Okay? This is not like the way we take the test in the classroom. They're going to give you multiple choice options. So you're going to need to take a look as you're solving, okay, what will be my answer? So we can do that process of elimination. Okay? So once we do that process of elimination, we got that. Now, what would 5/3 be as a mixed number? Let's do some of that, because that's definitely on all those exams. How would I exchange 5/3 as a mixed number? I know it'll be kind of hard to type, but try the best you can. We can divide, but would it be simplified to a mixed number? What would we get? So Michael's saying 1 2/3. Do we agree? 1 2/3. Okay. Okay. 1.6. Okay. Remember, there's question marks as an answer as well. So if you're listening, you're like, I don't know. Let's take a look at it. So 1 2/3, 1 2/3, 1.75 with a question mark. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So it's just like what Michael mentioned earlier. When you have a mixed number or improper fraction and you want to make it into a mixed number, you're just simply going to divide. So we're going to bring that old time, well, not too old because I remember it, long division. So we want to know how many groups of 3s can go into 5 without going over. So like most of you guys saying, yes, Reed. You got 1. So 1 times 3 gives us 3. Now we're going to subtract. 5 minus 3 gives me what? Not to insult your intelligence, but here we are. 5 minus, good. What's 5 minus 3? I know. People are just like, what? It's 2, right? Are you trying to change it up? No, I just want to know. Okay, so we have our 2. Now, if we want to change it to a mixed number, we have our whole, which is the 1. What you do is you put your remainder, which is this, since we're not putting the decimal in the 0, my remainder will always be over top of the divisor. So that's how people are getting 1 2/3. Because think of it. I know some of you guys probably don't do this anymore, but when you're writing a check, you always put the change over a full dollar, okay, over the 100. Okay, so you're taking your change over what you are dividing, your divisor. Okay. Now, if you wanted to take it to the next level as decimals, this is why I like to say, when you solve, always go back to the question and take a quick look at your answers. Because when you do that, you can do process of elimination. You might not even have any mixed numbers as your answer. Okay? Okay? That's why you would put, yes, you would put that decimal point, and you could put 2 zeros, but that's fine. 1 is fine. So now instead of a 2, we're going to bring that 0 down and make it into a 20. So how many groups of 3s can go into 20 without going over? 6. Good. 6. Good. Because 6 times 3 gives me 18. Because I think someone had 7.75 for a second. 7 will be 21, and that will definitely go over the 20. Then I have 20 minus 18. That gives me 2. If I add another 0 and bring it down, I feel like it's Groundhog's Day all over again. I'm repeating myself. Now, remember, this is a time test. We do not have to keep going. We can learn from here that this 6 is going to repeat. So if you want to put it as 1.6 repeating, or if you know that 0.666666, I think that's enough, so I won't call up someone. We can just say that 2/3, because 2/3 is equivalent to point all the 6s. Okay. Hey, Latoya. How are you? How's the NYC, girl? Yes, Michael. Thank you for not stopping at 4. All right, good. Now, if you round it, it can round to 1.7. Okay, it can round to 1.7. I think someone had 1.75 at one point, and I think that was a bit much. Okay? All right. You're welcome. Okay? So these are the little things, like going from an improper fraction to a mixed number. On the GED, that's considered a 1-point question. Okay? That would be considered a 1-point question. But going from multiplying or even dividing, this is considered a 4-point question on the GED. Okay? And it's definitely a higher point question for the ASVAB, because that's when they start. Remember, it's a progression. Here's another thing. For those that are taking the ASVAB, they'll start out nice and easy. Because remember, the minimum that you want to, or the lowest score that you really want is passing, is a 31. Okay? So what they'll do is like a progression. They'll start off nice and slow. We're doing some fractions. We're doing some decimals. We're asking you to do multiplication. We're doing all those things. Now we're progressing to percentages. Now we're doing a little bit more. Once you start seeing volume of a cylinder, that means you are on that upward scale. Okay? After you do your fractions, your decimals, your percents, they're going to start doing solving equations. And after you do solving equations, 1-step, 2-step, multi-step equations, now we're talking about slope. That's when you know you're in roughly that passing range. Because if you can get higher up than slope, or the equation of a line, or parallel and perpendicular lines, looking at system of equations, you're up there. You're getting up there. You're like in the 40s. Okay? You're like roughly in the 40s, getting close to like those 50s, right? But if you start seeing like volume of a cylinder, and they start comparing cylinders, you're in the 60s, 70s range. Okay? That's what I had problems with. What did you have problems with? Okay. I know you wouldn't get all of them right. Okay. On your steps? Okay. All right, the perpendicular lines. Okay. And trust me, it's going to be one little tweak. And after I show you, you're going to be like, really? That was it? Like, yep. Yep. Yeah, I'm one of those type of people that, yes, if you want me to throw around like $2, maybe even $5 words for math, that's fine. But that's not going to help you. But if I can simplify it and put it in a way that you will, one, best understand, and two, be able to apply, that's when I know I've done my job. Okay? All right. Can't wait. So basically, that's what I have for today. For tonight. Sorry. Again, if you... Where are my stuff? Okay. So if you like my math notebooks and you want to purchase it, hey, I have it on my website. Again, you can just find that website on my profile. Now, all of my replays, if you guys came later and you're like, oh, she's finished already, all of my replays, give me some time to upload this one, because sometimes TikTok gets a little crazy on Saturdays, and especially now that a lot of students are home and they're bored and they're just going and doing TikToks all day. Sometimes the server can't handle so much. So I might be able to upload it like maybe later today if I'm lucky, or tonight, or early tomorrow morning. But if you go to my YouTube channel, okay, go to my channel, go to ACG Math Tutoring under my name, Audrey Codner. I have all of the replays there. So like all of my replays are there for you to kind of take a look. That's okay. That's okay. So, and if anything, here is my, live schedule. I kind of rewrote it real quick. Okay, on the weekends, I'm here at 8:30. Okay, I know Monday through Thursday, that's when it's at 9:30 and 1 o'clock on Fridays. But Saturdays and Sundays, I go at 8:30. If you want to, if you can take a screenshot of this is all the people that I would love for you guys to follow. A blessed RN, if you're thinking about going into nursing and you want like a quick and easy way to break down the diagnosis calculations, definitely follow her. Impact Math 19, Miss Taylor, she was here earlier today. She's awesome. I mean, she does the TEAS test as much as I do. ASVAB and GED. I'm not sure if she's on tonight, but I know her evening sessions are for her paid subscription, but her day sessions, which is usually at 1 p.m. Central Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Time, is usually up and open and free. So if you ever want to do more practice, because for me, I do the nighttime one because I'm crazy, but it just seems like a lot of people benefit for it mostly at nights. And then if anything, if you're looking for a chemistry tutor, I know Professor TK, she's thinking about doing something for the summer because she does like in person, but she's been doing a lot with lives and activities. So definitely follow her. If you want to learn how to use the abacus, I am telling you, my friend Lynette is amazing. She's going to mainstream this thing. I can't wait for people to really take hold of this. This is such a tangible way of learning math, and it is so needed. So learning with Lynette, definitely take a follow of her. She usually goes live like around midnight. She's out of California, but like midnight Eastern. So she usually pops in, and sometimes she comes on a couple times during the day. If you have a little one that you're thinking about homeschooling, pre-K or kindergarten, you got online elementary tutor, my friend Nancy. She does math and reading. We need to get our younger kids reading, guys. We can't just keep popping them in front of a TV. I know it's easy. I know I don't have kids, so I get it. But once in a while, we need to sit down and read with our kids. So if you can't, and I get it, go ahead and hire my friend Nancy. She's amazing. And then I think Robert is still here. Anyone with AP statistics or even statistics with nursing, just statistics, Calc AB, Calc BC. This is the guy. I know I told you multiple times when you guys would say, oh, can you do calculus? And I'm like, no, I got a guy. This is the guy. I finally got him on TikTok. So if anything, go ahead and follow him. He's going to be putting out some videos soon. Can't wait for that. But these are the people that I would love for you to follow. They will help you with your journey. I'm here, but remember, I'm only a small person. It's just me being all alone in this crazy AZ world. But if we can get more people to help with our village, so we can get to our goal a lot quicker, so you can actually show the world what you got and basically be the badasses that you are, that would be lovely. Shake some stuff up. You know, quiet people don't make history, people. They do not. All right. So let's see a look. Okay, his head on Monday. Oh, good. Nice, Antonia. Now, here's the thing. If there is something, and I'm going to be truthful, especially tomorrow, if there's anything during the day, or if anything, message me. If we want to do like a quick little revamp of something before your test on Monday, let me know. Because I just have one person at 3 and another person at 7:30. And I was just going to try to, I don't know if I can do laundry. They're doing something with the water line outside my house. It's all kinds of crazy. I love taking a shower when it's all sporadic, like pop, 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 you know, just feel like you're shaking the whole house. It's great. It's great. Love life. But definitely reach out. Let me know. Let's see. For biology, AP Bio Penguins? Who's this? Is this you? Is this you, DMV? Okay. Do you have any resources for the second graders far as reading and math goes? My suggestion, she's on TikTok now. So online elementary tutor, definitely reach out to my friend Nancy. You can just tell her that I sent you. And she'll help you with resources and all that stuff. Because the younger ones, I'm going to be truthful, I really don't know. And if I ever want to do anything, I would go to Nancy or I would go to my friend Bridget, but she's not on TikTok right now. Okay? Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yes, Robert. Love it. Video 1 will be up by the end of the night. Yes! Who teaches AP Bio and goes live and helps people with the subject. Wow! Look, DMV, I need for you to message me so I can meet you. Okay? Because if you're cray-cray, I'm not. Like, I like to, to talk to people before I, make suggestions. And I loved how you just put your stuff out there. That's awesome. Because that's what you need to do. When you go on people's lives, you never know. Someone might be looking for AP Bio. Or, if anything, if you go on to people's lives and just suggest, is anyone's kid going to be signed up for AP Bio next year? I'm available. Something like that. And this is the perfect thing that you should be doing because that's what TikTok and all social media is for. As long as you're not being rude and obnoxious, you got to promote it. I love that. Yeah, so definitely message me and see if we can do a quick little chit chat. And then we'll see how we can help each other out. Okay? Okay, you also do undergrad level math as well? So we really need to get Robert up and snuff because I need for you to go live and tell people this stuff. And then, it'll be in your videos as well, so. Yes. Because when you do, seriously, when you're out there trying to do tutoring, all the people that's on here now, at one point, there'll be 100 to 200 people. But then when it gets a little too intense, a lot of people are like, nah, that's too hard. I'm done. But there's a lot of people that's on here now that are so supportive. And I mean, I've done things on Facebook. I've done things on Instagram. And I'm just thumbs down. Because you get a whole bunch of likes, but it's usually your whole bunch of your friends, but it's not leads. And, but the people here, I really feel blessed to have them. And that's one thing that I hope that you are when you do your tutoring sessions. Like, really be humble. Know your business, but really be humble and listen to the people. Because I think a lot of educators, not teachers, but I'm trying to say like the powers that be, they like to make a whole bunch of rules, but they keep forgetting that the people that are receiving it are human beings. And I think they forget that. So, yeah. Okay, cool. Yes, so if anything, that's all I have. I feel like I've been selling a lot to you guys today, but we've done multiplying, we've done dividing. I mean, 19.1K, I'm loving that. I really am. Oh, thank you, Roxy. I appreciate it. I can't wait. Can't wait to get started with our sessions on Mondays. Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. For those that don't know, I am doing a course, a live course that's going to help people with their ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the GED, because a lot of the algebra that's in those standardized tests is basically the same. Some of the verbiage, like the scenarios of the word problems, would be different, but how you solve it is exactly the same. So if you're a type of person that you haven't been in school since you were a fetus, like you just need somebody to break these concepts down. Let me go over fractions again. Let me go over step-by-step percentages and decimals. And let me go over solving equations and exponents and all those components that you will see all the way up to factoring. And it is a 12-week course. So if you need more information, just click on the link of my website, and you'll just look for the GED summer prep, math prep course. And we're actually going to get started on Monday. So Mondays and Wednesdays is at 4:30, and Tuesdays and Thursdays is at 7 o'clock. So what happens? We see each other twice a week. Whatever I'm doing on Monday, I'm going to do on Tuesday. Whatever I do on Wednesday, I'm going to do on Thursday. So if you miss a day and you want to come in, you can. But if not, there will be replays. It will be recorded. Okay? Yes. Oh, I'm number 15 fan. Look at that. Nice. All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Tuesdays and Thursdays, awesome. That's because I was about to ask you for that too. All right. Okay, guys, thank you. Oh, 20.7K. You guys are just amazeballs. Is there any other questions? Because I will be still offering, like, accepting people until I think I said the 21st, which is not this coming Saturday, not next Saturday, but the following, because I don't want to get too far ahead that people are going to be like, what do I have to do? And then I have to go all the way back, and I'm not going to do that. But if you know of anyone that wants to donate, maybe sponsor a person, if you know someone that's interested in it, that's thinking about getting their ASVAB or their GED, maybe they don't want to do the course. Maybe they want me to help them one-to-one. I'm starting to get a few of those because people's exams are coming up like in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Send them my way. Just send them my way. Okay? Yes. Thank you. How many more needed sponsors? I have right now, there's 3, but I don't want you to do 3, Michael. You've done enough. I appreciate you. But if you know of anybody, maybe a friend of yours or someone else that wants to come in, 1. Michael, you do so much. Before I walk away from that, so I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I noticed your name changed. Yeah, so if you know of anyone else, that will be fine. Spread the word. Spread the word. I think that's about it. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Trust me, 21.8, that will work. If we want to do 22 and then I can sign off, that would be awesome. Either way, so tomorrow we're going to be looking at composite, okay? Composite functions. And then we'll kind of conclude the functions up, so that will help people out. If Antonia is still here, definitely message me. Let's see if we can meet up for a little bit on Sunday so we can get you ready for your test on Monday. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. All right, that's perfect. Oh, triple twos. Triple twos and double fours. I love it. Oh, tomorrow will be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep. So you'll have some time to rest up a little bit, and then we'll come back on. All right, perfect. All right, everyone, thank you so much for your time and attention, and I will possibly see you guys tomorrow for some more functions fun, and then if anyone can't wait, I'm looking forward to Monday. All right, so take care. Have a lovely evening. All right, good night. God, just Michael. Enjoy and keep yourself cool and don't get burnt. Bye now.